Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing great. My name is KBauman. The idea framework for discussion today is called cost-benefit analysis. Let's get started. So what is cost-benefit analysis? At a high level, recognize cost-benefit as a decision support tool. It is a quantitative way to rank a competing set of alternatives, and it has applicability in nearly any organization. When do we use it? Again, when looking at a set of competing alternatives, cost-benefit is helpful when we need to draw a fair and objective comparison between them, provide some measure of desirability, and we want something quantitative. Additionally, it needs a requisite level of traceability so we can go back and defend why one alternative was selected over another. How exactly does it work? The beauty of cost benefit is in its simplicity. For every alternative, you divide the cost by the benefits, which yields some value, a number, ratio, or percentage. We then take these ratios for each alternative and rank them from low to high. The alternative with the lowest value is said to be the preferred alternative based on cost-benefit ratio alone. There may be other competing factors that influence the ultimate decision. A few important notes surrounding the mechanics of cost-benefit have to do with the units. First, we want them to all be the same. Second, they're typically currency, though not necessarily. And these units need to be the same for all alternatives in order to draw a fair comparison between them. Write down how you calculate the cost and how you calculate the benefits. Oftentimes, folks like to use benefit divided by cost because that way you can pick the highest value out of convenience, and it's a little more intuitive. Now it's time for a fictitious case study. Let's say we are Microsoft Corp, and we're trying to decide where to build a new store. The challenge is in determining how is one location more desirable over another. Where do we even begin? Using the cost-benefit framework, we could compare the estimated capital investment as a percentage of forecasted annual benefit. First, we'll estimate the benefit for each alternative using a convenient sales to square foot ratio typically found in retail. We'll say that the target value is $4,000 per square foot, the average store size is 8,000 square feet, which yields a target revenue of $32 million annually. We will assume that Microsoft has done their market research and identified a short list of candidate locations that meet this annual revenue threshold. The second step would be to estimate the cost for each alternative at these locations, as we see here. In this example, there are 4. In the rightmost column, you see the cost anticipated to open a new store based on historical indices, anticipated construction costs, etc. Using these annual sales revenue and investment estimates, we calculate the benefit cost ratio for each location, and we rank them. In this example, we see that the prevailing alternative is Charleston. Before they begin packing their bags and mobilizing equipment, it's important to note that cost benefit is often used in the planning phase and is not the sole metric of decision. There may be other factors to consider, both qualitative and quantitative, such as availability of qualified workforce, local supply chain constraints, even adjacency to other competitors, such as Apple. It's worth exploring the pros and cons of cost benefit. On the pros side, it's very scalable. You can include as few or as many alternatives as you like. It's easily repeatable, quick, and transparent. The table we looked at in the example could readily be changed around with the values to do a sensitivity analysis and see how it impacts the result. Cons include it's too simple sometimes, requires calculations, and has a dependency on measurements. The next time your customer is faced with a range of competing alternatives to select from, recommend an idea framework that is quantitative, easy to perform, and transparent. Cost-benefit analysis.